Hello?
Hold on. It looks like my webcam isn't working. 1 second.
That's no problem. At least the screaming stopped. That's nice.
Okay, we're good. Why did you call me?
I believe there's a third participant. Hell, I believe Hell called us. I'm not
Okay,
too sure
why
about
did
this.
Hell call us?
You know, I'm not entirely sure why Hell called us. To be honest, it's quite lovely. Honestly, the heat's really not too bad. You know, they call it a dry heat here in Hell, but you know, here they're in the southeast. Oh, it's a humid hot. You don't really understand. Here in Hell, boy, they do it right. It's a nice dry heat.
If you like it so much, you can ask them if they take a reservation.
You know what? I bet they do. Oh my goodness, that's a fantastic idea. You know what? Great idea, Mike. That's right, Mike. Great. Oh, hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Why did we record the intro at the end?
From the developer of the hit Waiting Simulator 22 comes their next installment, Waiting Simulator 23. Experience a brand new story that may or may not ignore decades worth of lore that has been cemented in both video games and book series. Will the classes be good? Will there be endgame? Will the auction house come back? This is Diablo IV. So Josh,
Mike,
what did you think of Diablo IV early access beta?
that's a really loaded question. Where to start? I mean, I'm going to start where I think everybody probably started, with the bugs and server issues. Oddly enough, I didn't have a lot. I really, the only thing I think I experienced was the login bug that basically stuck me in like a queue and would like kick me out, and then I'd come back. But that only happened like once or twice, and that was on Friday when it was the heaviest load.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I only had I experienced 2 bugs. One was I had a chest spawn that I couldn't interact with, and another I had my character move but the camera didn't follow, and that was really odd and very uncanny valley for Diablo.
I bet it was. It was like some Age of Empires
other
shit.
than that, yeah, it was weird. But they were like, that was fixable. All I did was TP out. And then, yeah, just server issues. I had a hard time logging in on Friday, but I think everyone did, so I don't really care. By
3, they come.
Now, this is going to come out probably with the second beta. So we only experienced 3 of the classes. We know that the second beta is going to have the rest of them. But I mean, I made a sorceress first and then a rogue. And everything felt tight. Everything felt really... it felt like Diablo 2. And less like Diablo 3. I felt like I wasn't running through paper.
On the money.
But
Yeah.
I also wasn't like challenged really. I really like the skill tree. I like the fact that, at least with Sorceress, I didn't feel this way with Rogue. And I highly doubt I would feel this way with Barbarian. I felt like Sorceress was very obviously like, you had routes that you could take, but there was clear like these skills combo together, which I felt was not there with Rogue.
It felt all over the place.
Yeah. Even looking further down on the skill tree, it felt like they had several ideas of what they wanted Rogue to be. There's some call outs to the Diablo 2 Assassin with the traps. And if you notice on some of his abilities, the after the third hit mechanic comes back, which was also Diablo 2 Assassin and also Monk. It doesn't work that well in this game. It doesn't feel like it works that well yet. I mean, at least at lower levels, that could be just a low level thing, but
Rogues do feel incredibly half-baked, but I also got to give them sort of credit, because they also were like kind of fun to play at the same time with like the bow build.
It's a cool archetype to have because they never had, I'm going to say they never had like a rogue archetype, and everyone's going to be like, but they have Demon Hunter. I don't consider Demon Hunter a rogue type.
It's a ranger dude, whatever. A Dark Shadow Ranger Hunter or some whatever bullshit. Yeah, exactly.
Rogue seems odd, but at least it's not Barbarian. I know neither of us played as it, but it seems like
It looks
is.
rough just watching people
Yeah.
play. I was gonna touch on sorceress too. I basically just played exclusively lightning build because I didn't feel the need to switch off of anything else. That's how good they are. I was just like tearing through shit. Well, I think it was like the chain lightning and then just the regular lightning throw, and it just goes through everything. Like you feel like a god, and then you hop on your rogue and you're like, what? Do I can't kill anything. I mean, you can. I'm exaggerating, but like it's still like it's like taking a warm knife through butter with the wizard, and then it's like taking a dull knife through a well done steak with the rogue.
By 3, thy way opens.
I think we should talk about the inevitable comparison of Diablo 4 to every other game like it.
Pretty
so let's talk about Diablo 3 first, because I like Diablo 3 for what it is, but so for preface, I did my homework and decided to play Diablo 2 remastered, Diablo 3, the new season, the latest season, I think it's season 28, who the fuck knows, and Path of Exile.
Gotcha.
Diablo 3 might be the most unsatisfactory leveling experience I've ever had in a video game. I shouldn't level up and ignore it.
Leveling up in Diablo 3 feels like a punishment. It's
It
like
does.
they slap your hand. They're like, "Don't do that. How fucking dare you? How could you?" And then you got to go and run through all your little abilities because they're all shiny, and it will just constantly remind you in the goddamn bottom right. Oh God, I'm with you. It's terrible.
With that, I like Diablo 4 because I like that when I level up, I can feel like I'm progressing my character. And also, I love the fact that I can get skill points outside of just level ups because Diablo 4 is secretly Lost Ark and not a Path of Exile competitor, I guess, which
is wild, which I did not have on my bingo card for this year. Yeah, I know we're sort of jumping, but the multiplayer aspect, oh my goodness, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I kind of dig it. Like, it's cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to see what it's like with heavier player count. Like, I don't want the Lost Ark effect of seeing like 50 people in town,
Mhm.
but I don't mind the density that was in the beta. Like, I don't mind seeing a couple people here and there and then going out into the world and randomly like coming across some people.
By the blood of the willing, we call thee home.
The graphics aren't like insane, but they share a similarity and improved upon 2 in a really good way in like art style wise. The art style I prefer 10 times more than 3. I mean, just to preface it, I sound like I'm shitting on 3. I do like 3. It's just art style wise, it was just not really in my, I just didn't like it as much. Diablo 4 just hit the nail on the head, really.
I think the art style with Diablo 4, there was one moment where I entered into a dungeon and it was a vampire dungeon, which I wasn't expecting. Vampires in Diablo, I can't say if they're new or not, but I don't remember seeing any before. There's vampire bats, but those are just bats.
I don't remember seeing them in Diablo 3 for sure. I'm pretty sure.
I entered into this one tile set and I was blown away by it. It was gross looking. It was very dark. It felt like I don't want to be here. It gave me the heebie-jeebies, which is exactly what I want from my Diablo game. I like the fact that you feel isolated when you need to be. I wish that the camera was zoomed out a little bit, but I feel like that adds to like this claustrophobia.
Yeah, I did see a few complaints about the camera, but as far as I think they did a good job on the MMO light side of things, which really helps with the way they designed the art for sure. Because you go into those little dungeons and it's terrifying. It's like you're just cramped in there and you can't see anything. And I think it fits it really well. Honestly, the best place I've seen the art to me has been in the cutscenes. I think the cutscenes and the
Yes.
story and the way they've blended those two together are done so much better than Diablo 3 by like a country mile.
The opening cutscene, and then I don't mean the like Pixar quality opening cutscene. I mean the opening cutscene of the actual game. And then all the other cutscenes were shocking. I didn't expect them. They were happy little surprises, and like the story in general, like this game reminded me a lot of Lost Ark. It reminded me of like Lost Ark, but all the things that I hate about Lost Ark aren't there, which is nice. We'll see if that continues. But unlike Lost Ark, I don't click through any story in Diablo 4. And it's not because I'm, a big Diablo fan. It's because what's happening is interesting and they're telling it in an interesting fashion so that I actually pay attention. I can't say much more about story without spoilers. So.
No, but I have really been enjoying just clicking through the little bits of dialogue on important characters that start showing up here and there. It's really good. I honestly, it's really well written dialogue. Blizzard has stepped up their writing game, and it really
the writing, the voice acting,
dude. I was looking up characters left and right because of how much they were impressing me. Like, and they just let them go like crazy with like the accents and the feel of where they're at is so unique and different. Like instead of just like the basic we got in like Diablo 3.
Should we get into spoilers so that we can actually like talk about what we saw with the story?
Let's dive into spoilers. I think that's a good idea.
So, story opens. I liked the opening where you are huddled in a cave, freezing to death, because Diablo 3, another big complaint that I had is that I hated being a Nephilim. I hated being like a fucking god. Now we come to Diablo 4, and we are a person freezing to death in the
You
cold.
are made out to be a little punk bitch right from the start.
And I love it. I love it. Because it's like Diablo 2. Diablo 2 opens and you're just like in the rogue encampment outside of Tristram and the cathedral, and you're not even like, oh, we should stop the evils. It's, hey, there's a den of monsters out there. Can you go kill it? Because if you could kill it, that'd be great. Thanks. And that's it. Like, that's your first quest. You play, Diablo 4, you're just some punk bitch who's just looking for shelter. I'm just like, it's so grounded, which is what I wanted in my Diablo game. Like, I didn't want to be this god that strolls up to, an encampment and just like, pow, 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 killed all the zombies.
Pretty much.
Like, it's not what I wanted.
Yeah.
Like, granted, you go and do that, but like, it's asked of you and you're not even sure if you're going to be able to do it.
Yeah, your character is like notably worried in that first cutscene. I remember because he's like, in the first beginning bits of the game, you come to that encampment and they send you off to go kill some things. What is it? Kill some demons or something like that? I can't remember exactly what you go off to kill.
You find a monk and they're like, he came from the ruins. There's some shit down there, and you're like, I'll go clear it out, I guess, and then you just go and do it
because you're just like, okay, sure. And then you come back, they celebrate, they drug you, and then they take you to be sacrificed, and it's just like, it humbles you so quickly. Like, if the Nephilim would have never done that, like, he'd have just murdered them all.
No. No, Diablo 3 feels like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Diablo 4 feels like
a grounded drama.
An adult. Yeah, an adult drama. I did not anticipate them drugging you. I was like,
I thought we were just having a
when
good time.
they do this. Yeah, when they do the celebration, I was like, this is the cheesiest shit ever. Why is this in my Diablo game? And then they drug you. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
And they just so nonchalantly drag you away. I mean, they're just like, hey, get him out of here. We don't want to see him no more. He's just like, all right, let's come on. It's so
Yup.
good.
And it's so long. It takes forever for him to get you to the barn, and then he does his thing, and then he dies, and then you kill all of them.
You murder the whole
like-
village.
It's hilarious because I ran through that cutscene twice because I played the game twice, and I skipped all the cutscenes. I'm like, if you skip the cutscenes in this game, you have no idea what the fuck's going on. Like, you're like, why? If you have no idea, you're like, why the fuck am I now fighting these people, and why am I in a barn? Like, it makes no sense. But yeah, like, all of that has been great in terms of making your character feel like a human being instead of whatever Diablo 3 was. There's so many things that your character was. A mannequin for armor, or you know, the Nephilim that you get told countless times. Everyone knows that you're a Nephilim. Everyone knows what a Nephilim is. Why? Why?
I like that you can't talk about a review of Diablo 4 without absolutely dogging Diablo 3. It's a necessity.
It pisses me off.
It's a necessity. Straight up. Because even I'm taken aback after being explained the story of Diablo 3, because I barely followed that shit, and it was asinine. I'm going to shut up about it.
I guess. Which brings me to a brief respite from the story, because we're going to get into the Mass Effect part of Diablo 4, which I'm getting kind of tired of.
Okay,
so,
elaborate.
In Diablo 4, you're fed blood petals, and now you get visions that flash across the screen of Lilith, and then you also can see what the fuck she's doing, and that's just Mass Effect 1.
Yep, that's the Protheans. That's the Protheans. You're on it.
So, and I'm tired of media doing it, because it's like, it was cool in Mass Effect 1, but
that was 2007.
Like, Star Trek Picard did it, and I was like, why? And now we're doing it again in Diablo 4.
They're
just
running
like,
out of ideas, Mike. You got to understand.
I like the fact that people are still worshiping angels. Like, people are still worshiping Inarius.
Yeah, that's cool.
In this
Nice
area,
little touch.
and I'm like, I like that. They still have faith. I don't know why. They shouldn't.
Not at all.
But at least they don't know.
Yeah, I thought that was a neat touch, because you never saw that in 3, but then in 4 there, you just got straight up worshipers. I mean, even in the cutscene to Lilith, like, there they are just having a blast. That was a really cool, like, world building moment.
Yeah, I did think that the one lady just stabbing the fuck out of the priest was the
I
goofiest
audibly
shit.
laughed. I burst out laughing, because the way she does it, this bitch is over here. I don't know why the fuck I got a goddamn wine opener on my desk, but here, we're gonna use it as an example. Class, listen up. So she just comes over here with this bad boy, and then she just like, like, with basically something similar. Like, it's just the most unpractical thing to murder a man, and then they just surround him and just start wailing on him and just start beating the ever-loving shit out of him. It was the funniest thing, but it was also terrifying. It made Lilith as scary as she is. In one cutscene, she was already scarier than any Diablo villain that was ever there. Like, it's crazy how brooding and menacing she is without doing hardly doing anything. Like, she literally just spoke some words, and the folks were like, "Fuck yeah, priest, it's time to go, baby." That cutscene really caught me off guard, and I was pleased by it.
Yeah, no, it was good. Speaking of cutscenes, it was then followed up by probably the worst cutscene that I saw in the game.
I can't remember this one off the rip. Which one was this one?
Our boy Lilith Nar comes back, and it was the dumbest cutscene I've ever seen.
It was so good with some Pixar ass shit.
He looked like he comes in, and then they do the face reveal, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, who the fuck is that? Because, okay, so Lilith Nar is an NPC that
I don't know who the fuck
enters
he was.
into Diablo. He's in Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls. He's the main NPC that you deal with in Reaper of Souls when you're in Westmarch.
Gotcha.
He is part of the new Herodrim, which, by the way, I think it's hilarious that after Diablo 3, which is, again, why I think they're doing Diablo 3 Erasure. After Diablo 3, they recreate the Herodrim. which I thought was the dumbest shit ever because it's a really old society that like Decker Kane researched, might have been a part of. I don't think so, but and they died out, and they were just like, oh, we're gonna bring back a new Herodrum, and then Diablo 4 starts, and literally in the opening cinematic, they say the Herodrum is dying, and this is their story. And I'm just like, they're just killing off the new Herodrum. Fuck the Herodrum. We'll never have them. Just stop making it happen.
Oh, damn.
So Lorith Nar, I'm pretty sure, in the cutscene of Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, the first cutscene where Malthael takes the Soul Stone and kills those guards, and Tyrael's there. I think Lorith Nar is the Herodrum that Tyrael saves, because the other two, like, age rapidly and die.
Yep.
Lorith Nar is the one that he saves, and then he escorts you basically throughout the entire expansion. And then after the expansion, he's a merchant. You give him blood rubies or something.
Becomes a merchant. It's funny as shit.
Yeah, he's just a merchant, and he stands next to Tyrael the whole time for adventure mode, which is fine, whatever. But you never see his face. Literally, his portrait in Diablo 3 has a mask and a hood on. So how the fuck am I supposed to know who this is?
I'm like, who is this guy? He's just Huntmaster. Okay, he's just the hunter, I guess. All right.
And then, now that I've given you his entire backstory, the cinematic follows up with the dumbest statement from Lorith Nar.
What does he say? Enlighten me.
Right? You're taking him to town, and he sits there and he says, I never thought I'd live to see this. Bitch, you saw Malthael in person. What do you mean?
He's not a bright one, old Lorith. He just wants to have dinners. That's really all it is. He wants to have his dinners, and that's just the cut of his jib. That's all he's about.
Oh,
he just forgot all about the Reaper of Souls. They really did. They just mind wiped him. Even he forgot about Diablo 3.
Like, it was ridiculous. I didn't play any more of the story up until that point. I did, but I kind of skipped around in it because I didn't want to reveal too much. I will say this, Diablo 4 is very heavy-handed with its lore delivery.
I am a simple creature when it comes to story. I am very much just beat it over the head and, just play and be casual. And it feeds very well into someone like me who's casual and just wanting to kind of get through the story as I go. It's someone else that I talked to called it accessible. And I would agree with that, especially in the story.
It's very accessible,
yeah, it is.
Which is fine. For a game like this, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
For a more niche audience, especially like Diablo 3 made Diablo not a niche audience anymore. If it was a game for a niche audience, I would want more subtlety. It's very ham-fisted, but it is what it is. Whatever.
It's improved.
In terms of where the story is going, I like it. But let's be real. We're going to get to Act 4, and I'm calling it now. We're going to kill both Lilith and Inarius, and that'll cause Diablo to come back.
I think that'd be cool as hell. I think that would be dope.
Or Inarius is Diablo, because why not? Fuck it. I feel like if we don't... We're going to get to Act 4, and we're going to kill Diablo. Because that happens in every fucking game.
Yep. You kill Diablo. It's called Diablo, for fuck's sake.
Exactly. So it's great that Lilith is the star, and Lilith is
a goth mommy boss bitch. She can step on me on like all she wants with her big tall heels. Like, that's fine. But yeah, Diablo's got to make an appearance because he or she, whichever direction they decide to go, is fucking cool. Like, Diablo's dope. That's just a fact, Jack.
Also, they gave out feet for free.
Oh yeah, they did do that, didn't they? My goodness.
Hail, daughter of hatred, creator of sanctuary. Hail, Lilith.
Josh, would you recommend Diablo 4?
You know, it's always tough to say on an early access beta, and this did feel a little more like it feels like a half-completed game with some beta elements in there. So that all said, I think I would still recommend it. If you like a top-down action RPG game and you just want to kill shit, this is it. If you are someone like me who's casual, who's probably not going to get into the nitty-gritty of the details of all the skills and all the particular damages they do, and you just want to kill shit with a fun build, this is going to be the game for you, I think. I haven't done complete full builds. I leveled 2 characters to like 11 and 12, so this is definitely some judgment for me. I don't know how in-game is going to work at all. So this is just the beginning and leveling sequence. If you just want to level up in Diablo 4, it's worth it. Get it, pay the money, you're going to have fun. I mean, that's all there is to it. That's why I would definitely recommend it for sure. I think it does a great job. The gameplay just feels wonderfully, I would agree with the term accessible. It feels wonderfully accessible. It's packs a punch. It reminds me that Blizzard caught a W here. After all their shit they've been through, Blizzard is catching a W with Diablo 4, I think. Because they still can show that they can do combat well. They haven't lost that Blizzard gameplay touch. They've still got it. It'll just be interesting to see how the end game looks in the end, and I might have to revisit and see how all that goes and how my words hold up over time. But I guess if you're one of those people, casual, you're gonna fall in love with this really quick. I can't really speak too much to the hardcore folks though, because I am just straight up not that audience. I will never be. So it's hard to say whether or not hardcore folks would like it. Oh. Well, Mike, would you
Don't worry, we're keeping that in.
Well, Mike, would you recommend Diablo 4? Look, I'm sorry, I was playing with the bottle opener.
It depends. And that's such a dumb answer.
Maybe.
If you're going into it wanting like a PoE upgrade, it's not PoE. I think that needs to be said more than not, because like Diablo 3 was clearly going after PoE, well, or vice versa, whatever. In that type of style of game, this is not that style of game. It might get there in endgame. It probably will, but I don't see this as a PoE contender as it is a Lost Ark contender. So I think it's good. I think it's a good return to the Diablo 2 style and feel while keeping the story fresh and new. I'd say yes. I would recommend to anyone that hears this via time travel to try the free beta. But unfortunately, you probably can't do that. So I'm just going to say, yeah, I think people should play this. And yeah, I mean, I would recommend it. It's been good for me so far, and I'm probably one of the pickier Diablo fans. So I don't know. I liked it. I think most people will.
It's gonna.
But if you're looking for Diablo 3 or Path of Exile, it's not it. You have to go in knowing that.
It's got the reach. This Diablo game almost has more reach than 3 somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, headlining an event at the Xbox showcase. Kind of big for Diablo.
Yeah. You
of all things.
You were not kidding. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. You know, it's really weird that we're in a 3-way call with Hell, but only 2 of us talked.
Yeah. Really strange for an opening bit.